Judge dismisses Nevada fake electors case over 2020 election. A Nevada judge has dismissed a high-profile criminal case against 6 Republicans accused of submitting a false certificate declaring Donald Trump the winner of the state in the 2020 presidential election. The decision represents another major setback for prosecutors pursuing cases connected to efforts to challenge the results of the 2020 election. The case centered on 6 Republican activists who gathered in Carson City in December 2020, weeks after Joe Biden had been declared the winner of Nevada. Biden carried the state by more than 30,000 votes. Despite that result, the 6 Republicans signed a document identifying themselves as Nevada's legitimate presidential electors and declaring that the state's 6 electoral votes should go to Donald Trump. The document was then transmitted to federal authorities. Prosecutors argued that the certificate was false and that the defendants were part of an effort to create an alternative slate of electors that could potentially be used when Congress formally counted the Electoral College votes. The 6 defendants were eventually charged in connection with the document. But now, Clark County District Court Judge Mary Kay Holthus has dismissed the case. One of the most important issues was whether prosecutors had provided enough evidence that the defendants actually intended to commit fraud. The defense argued that the Republican electors were not secretly attempting to deceive Nevada officials. Instead, attorneys characterized their actions as a political and legal strategy designed to preserve Trump's ability to challenge the election results. The judge concluded that prosecutors had failed to establish sufficient evidence of fraudulent intent. She also criticized the way the case had been presented to the grand jury. According to the ruling, prosecutors failed to provide certain evidence that could have been favorable to the defendants. That became another important factor in the judge's decision to dismiss the charges. Among the 6 defendants is Michael McDonald, chairman of the Nevada Republican Party. All 6 had pleaded not guilty. The dismissal, however, does not necessarily mean the legal battle is finished. Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford has said his office intends to appeal the decision. That means a higher court could eventually be asked to decide whether the prosecution should be allowed to continue. The Nevada case is part of a much larger legal and political controversy surrounding the aftermath of the 2020 presidential election. Similar groups of Republicans in several battleground states signed alternative electoral certificates after Trump disputed his loss to Biden. Those efforts became a central part of investigations into attempts to overturn or challenge the election results.